My name is Janet Volcan. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Forest Resources Management in the Faculty of Forestry of the University of British Columbia. I currently supervise around 13 master's and PhD students.
The reason we got involved in organizing this conference is our supervisor had plans to have a get-together to discuss forestry issues in the boreal forest area. But I think that evolved into trying to include other parts of the world and other forest areas. And then the themes of the conference evolved to who would attend. And so we wanted to make sure that the knowledge holders, local knowledge holders, traditional knowledge holders, their voices would be present. And then it became this conference about traditional ecological knowledge.
So one of the major considerations we had organizing this conference was about why community members would be interested in attending an academic conference. So as researchers, we were really excited to be bringing our community research partners in and showing them about our lab mates, about the common interests that we all hold.
We made our first day as an ice-breaking friendship building day, and we wanted to make sure that every participant will feel safe in that space so that we can share our stories and challenges and ideas so that we build friendship for alliance building so that we can continue working on the transformation process.
My name is Ching in Pakunyo language, and then Surichan Pranaprawan in Thai language. I'm from Thailand. I work with the university, Srinakarin Virod University, as a lecturer in the geocultural management major. But the favorite part to sit together and share about our knowledge and exchange with each other about the different situation, different perception, different ideas about the forest, about the human and forest.
Right now we're in the territory of the Lil'wat First Nation, so we're about an hour north of Whistler, BC. The Transforming Approaches Conference, we were really happy to welcome some member of the Lil'wat Nation to actually present and share with us at the conference. So Koskash Dan was in attendance at the conference.
I'm Koskash. I'm from a place called Lil'wat. We're about 3 hours northeast from Vancouver, and I've been raised by the old peoples. We call it Lil'tum, not elders, and so they're the ones that taught me to be who I am today, and they actually showed me how I'm supposed to be. I went to all different kinds of schoolings. So I went to colleges, I went to universities, I was paramedic and all that kind of stuff. But when it came right down to it, it's always the forest that called me home. To me, a forest is where I can be myself. The tree is not going to judge me. And so to me, that's sacred. And this is what is being lost to all peoples of the world. We got this one planet that we're trying to keep in one piece, and we're trying to stop corporations from destroying it. This is why I'm here.
This is my little one, Duncan. He's coming to the conference with me. For me, listening to everyone's presentations and being engaged in this conversation, there is a real friction between the way we wish things to be and the way they are now. And part of why I wanted to come to this conference was to be part of that wishing and dreaming and envisioning together and making it concrete. And I really appreciated some of the workshop time that we had together because we walked through that together. And it helped ground me in this group of folks doing this work. My favorite part of going to the conference has been the farm. I grabbed onto my son's hand and we listened, and we heard birds calling, and we heard children laughing, and we heard people talking, and we could smell brownies cooking in the kitchen there. And it was a really beautiful space. And when we were there, I felt happy, and I remembered the farm where we worked back at home, and I remembered all these things in my body that, you know, when you're outside in nature, it just awakens for you. And it was really nice to see how this community is functioning and how the farm here on this campus is working, and think back to what could I bring home and what could I carry with me.
My name is Deglada Walbeit, and I'm coming from Sudan. I work in the National Center for Research in Sudan. Nowadays I'm in Canada, and I'm doing a socioeconomic project in my country to plant trees after the revolution in the Sudan. We are visiting the UBC farm for a very wonderful visit for the indigenous farming, where we had a very nice circle time with indigenous people, and we saw medicinal plant. We participate to some of their songs and spiritual meetings. It's really amazing. So for me, forestry means life, and I'm working very hard now to figure out how can we improve the relationship between human being and tree, like man and tree, in sense of human ecology and forest ecology. I would just like to add, like, these type of conferences are really important to connect forestry people and also other people from anthropology, from indigenous knowledge people, from even sociology, climate change activists, ecologists. Was really a good connection between people around the world and from different discipline areas, and get use of the globalization in this sense. So thank you very much for UBC and Forestry Department for giving us this opportunity.
So I invited my research partner in Zimbabwe, Emmanuel Hove, and he has been very passionate about being part of the conference. However, we encountered a challenge that his visa was denied 3 times. We were able to bring him through Skype.
I'm Emmanuel Hove. I'm the Arts and Culture Officer for Mondo Trust, a community-based organization which foments locally driven creativity in the rural dry areas of South Central Zimbabwe. Participating in the conference, it has been wonderful to be part of this conference, and I have learned a lot, and it was good to interact with people. You know, it is always good to use technology for the positive things. So I've been very happy to be part of this conference, to be contributing, to be seeing people contributing from different countries like Asians. I have seen Asians there presenting. I've seen the brothers from Africa presenting there. It's been awesome. I've learned a lot, and it is like I'm there with you guys. I'm there in the conference, so it's very encouraging.
We did have very ambitious goals with this conference, and it was even in our name, Transforming Approaches. We knew that there were conventional ways that conferences happen. There's a structure, there's expected outcomes, there are expectations that exist on how people will be absorbing this information. And so we wanted to try and deconstruct that a little bit, and we did that with having a lot more discussion periods. We didn't want presentations to happen sequentially without having room for questions and discussions. We made sure that there were opportunities for people to step out and just continue any conversations they were having. So we tried to be very aware at different hours of the day when people might feel like having longer discussions or have more in-depth discussions. I think you might have mentioned the term decolonizing science or decolonizing conferences.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess a huge component of this whole decolonizing conference work for us had to do with the core of the conference, which was traditional ecological knowledge. That knowledge is developed by a lot of peoples who have felt the brunt of colonization for hundreds of years. And so we thought that it would be so contrary to the objectives of the conference for us to have a conference and ignore the elephant in the room, which is that Vancouver and the University of British Columbia Vancouver campus, which is where the conference was taking place, is on unceded territory. It's on the lands of the Musqueam Nation. And it would just be a bizarre thing to be talking about traditional ecological knowledge without that place-based understanding of the power dynamics in the room. Who is advantaged by this history? Who is buried by this history? It was really important for us and our own academic integrity to acknowledge the truths that often are erased in academic settings. And so we adopted decolonizing a conference just as like a large-scale kind of macro objective for the team, and we tried to make that into very actionable things. We didn't just want it to be a buzzword that gets thrown around at the conference. We wanted that to be really reflected in who is in the room and how we have these conversations.